Hi everyone, hope you're doing good, and the topic I've chosen for this video is 5S. And before I just go ahead and explain what is 5S and how you can implement it, so I've just made a little change in the way I launch my videos. Instead of going in and launching a 1.5 hour video, I have divided it into 6 parts. So this would be a complete course on 5S and its implementation, and this in this 6 video series I have covered the complete information you need to know to how to use and implement this tool, that is 5S. So coming back to 5S, the reason why I have chosen this tool is it's a very simple tool but a very effective tool. People who use 5S know that using this tool just greatly helps in enhancing the work efficiency. So, and plus its application is universal. When I say universal, so basically what I mean is that if you work in offices, you work in factory, you are a manager, you work in hospitals, hospitality industry, or you are just working in banks, teacher, anybody can understand this tool, they can use this tool and see how it will completely transform your workplace and how it would help you increase the efficiency. And plus it does not require any kind of technical or statistical knowledge. So anybody can use and implement this tool. This tool is 5S. So basically it is a lean tool. Those who are following my lectures would know by now what is lean, and those who are new, so I would just explain you in basic terms that what is lean. So lean is the concept, the lean is a technique by which you can create value without waste, right? So this means we try to get rid of waste from our systems and processes and try to create products and services which do not have any kind of waste and which are according to the requirements of the customers, right? So coming back to 5S, so this is a very basic tool of lean, and this is the first tool which is used in lean implementation. So what is alphabets A to Z for English language? The same is 5S for lean implementation. That means those are the foundation of those, the letters A to Z are foundation for our English language, those are the building blocks. Same way 5S is the foundation where you have to step in, you have to first start with 5S, only then you can understand lean implementation. So my reason or my purpose of discussing this tool was that I am getting a lot of emails and people just thank me that I am just trying to help them out in a way that they can use these tools and explanation in their own systems. And according to my experience, I have seen that this 5S tool, if it's used alone, it can sort many things, and some small companies can just get sorted using this simple tool, that is 5S. So I thought that I should just take up in detail so that anybody who wants to start lean implementation, who just want to get their first step right, so they should know that what is 5S and how they can implement this tool, right? So when I'm going to take up this 5S tool, again as I did in 5W2H method, I would be taking it in 3 or 4 parts. And the first one would be, I am just going to take up that what is 5S basically, or 6S as some people say. So what is 5S, what are its definition, or what are its benefits or uses, etc. And then in second part I am going to take up the complete detailed implementation of this 5S tool, where we would be using forms, etc. and you will know that how to implement this tool. And in third part I would be discussing about red tag, etc. so that after you just go through this lecture, you would be able to implement 5S in whatever you are doing, right? So starting with 5S, so basically 5S is an operations management system or a workplace management system where you just try to improvise your workstations, or you try to improve your workstations by getting everything in its place. So just think of a workstation where all the tools are cluttered, and you know that what would happen. So basically workers will find it very hard to find the appropriate right tool, so there would be delay in the system, there would be delay in the process itself. And what about a clean workstation where everything is in order, whatever is needed you get it on time? So what would happen? I think so you can understand, right? So basically 5S or 6S is a technique that results in a well organized workplace complete with visual controls and order. Basically, it's an environment that has place for everything, and everything in its place when you need it, right? So 5S gives you a workplace which is clean, uncluttered, safe and organized. And if your workplace is clean, uncluttered, safe and organized, so it would start speaking. And by linking people and processes, products begin to flow at the drumbeat of the customer. This means whenever customer requires a product, they would be ready, there would be no delay, there would be no defect. 5S stands for Seri, Cyton, Cyaso, Cykesto and Shishuk. Now basically all these are the Japanese terms, because we know that lean was originated in Toyota and it was basically, these are the Japanese processes. So this have been converted into English language for the global implementation. So Seri stands for sort, Cyton stands for set in order, Cyaso stands for shine or clean, Cykesto stands for standardization, and Shishuk stands for sustainability. Right, and there's a sixth S, as I said to you, and that is sixth S is for safety. So basically this is for the healthcare sector. The many people who implement lean, who have studied lean, they think that this 6S should not be different because it is the integral part of all these 5 steps and it's not different, but still some people just think it's a 6S. So why it is important? When I say that it is 5S is a very, very important tool. So when we talk about the manufacture sector, the service sector or the operational sector, visual order is a very, very important concept. That is, everything is in place and the work flows very smoothly then. So visual order is the foundation of excellence, and when it is in place, I mean the visual order, so work get done efficiently and effectively. And when it is not in place, so work would be getting done. It's not that your work would stop, but it would be getting done at a cost which is very hard to justify, because then you would have to pay for the rework, all the wasted material, wasted man hours or any other liability which is associated with reworks or defects of products and services, right? But please do not confuse 5S by just saying that it's a mere cleanup campaign, because it is not. Because once you will just actually properly implement this 5S, you would see that there is lots of effective and efficient, there's a lot of effectiveness and efficiency in the way the work is getting done. But you would need certain kind of perseverance and determination. You would know that how things getting done, that you should know the details of how the work is getting done, plus you should know that what is important for your processes. Only then you can implement 5S properly. Moving on to how this concept of 5S originated, so basically it's thought that 5S methodology has come out of techniques within the total productive maintenance and the TPS system, that is Toyota production system, right? But its roots, if you just go a little deep, then from where did we get all this system of arranging the workstations and everything? So its roots lie in the works of Taylor and his scientific management, plus from the Frank Gilbert's work on time and motion studies. So here I am going to just give you a small example of the Frank Gilbert's work, how he showed that ergonomic designs and how if we just manage the workstations, how we can improve the efficiency. So basically Frank Gilbert showed that by improving the ergonomics of a brick-layered working method, he could reduce number of individual movements required and increase the hourly output from 120 to 350 bricks laid each hour, right? So but here most people think that 5S has directly, we just got 5S directly from the Ford and their concept of CANDO, which is cleanup, arranging, neatness, discipline and ongoing improvement. After origin, let's understand the concept of 5S. So basically the concept of 5S is similar to the PDCA cycle, that is continuous improvement. So you have to keep on going through all the stages every time, and each time only then you will develop a workplace which is really ergonomic, which is efficient, and where no accidents happen, right? So here if you just see this diagram, so first focus here in this section, we will just discuss them later on. So right, so the first step in each 5S step is to sort. As I already told you, it means clearing and classifying. That means you separate the necessary items from the unnecessary ones, and then you remove those unnecessary items. After you are done, then you move on to the second step, which says set in order. This means to straighten, configure, to simplify. This means everything should be put in place where it is required and when it is required. So you have to organize your workplace or work area, and then this step, the second step, leads to the third step, which is shine, which means to sweep, scrub, clean and check. So basically you clean your tools, you clean your workstation, your work tables, everything. So keep workplace clean, and after this third step it will lead to the fourth step, which says standardize, stabilize, conformity, and this means continuously monitor levels of ongoing and cleaning everything, right? And all these steps will lead to the fifth step, which says sustain. This means to continuously sustain the system of working. So custom, self-discipline and practice. So basically you have to work towards shared set of values regarding cleaning and organizing, and this is a never ending process. You have to keep it doing continuously, right? And then comes the sixth S, which is the safety, right? So it means creating a safe place to work, and some also think that there is a seventh S, and this is oversight. This means to ensure right things done the first time without any defects, without any problems. So the purpose of this seventh S is that the customer safety is the highest priority. This means you are not going to deliver any product or service which put the customers at risk. So this is the concept of 5S, right? So basically, as I've told you, it's based on the PDS principles of continuous improvement or a PDCA cycle. So 5S is a way to organize workplace, and your working practices are based on the philosophy, overall philosophy, that everything should be in order, it should be clean, it should be set in order, and this is the way how you do your work each day and every day. Before I move forward and just explain how you can use this tool, that is 5S, or how you can implement this tool, I would like to clear certain misconceptions which most people have regarding 5S. As most people think that it's just a tidying up a campaign or a housekeeping kind of tool, but I would like to tell you that it's much more than that. So basically when I say 5S, I just don't mean that it's a housekeeping technique or it's just a tidying up campaign, because it's organization of your complete workplace. Whatever you are doing, it will just organize everything so that you can bring upon other improvements, and then it would make your organization, your company, your workflow, anything efficient and ergonomic. So it does not just make it pretty, it would make it efficient and ergonomic, so that each thing, whether it's machine, manpower or everything, each one is placed in such a way that they are utilized optimally. And then it's waste removal. So when I say it will lead to waste removal, I just do not mean that it's just going to you're just going to throw away certain scrap. No. When I talk about waste in lean, it means a very detailed kind of waste, which when we talk about 7 kinds of waste, that is transportation, inventory, underutilized talent, etc. and etc. So same way 5S would help you remove all those kinds of waste. And then it creates an environment for continuous improvement. Obviously when things will be in place, you would know that there is no wastage, so you will just go into a cycle of continuous improvement. It gives the firm a firm foundation on which to build other improvements. As I've already told you that 5S is that building block for lean, which is very essential if you have to use other lean tools. And then it aims at improved safety, waste removal and increased quality. Right, so before I just move forward, I will just quickly go through the benefits of 5S so that you just your interest just increases in this technique. So 5S would help you increase the morale of your employees, safety in the workplace, efficiency, quality, lead time, creativity and equipment life, and at the same time it would decrease injuries, production costs, downtime, defects, supply mistakes, underutilized workers, inefficient transportation, inventory storage cost and underutilized floor space. When we talk about 5S, there are two things which are very important to 5S implementation. The first one is keeping detailed records and the second one is visual communication, right? So when I'm just going to take all the 5 steps that how you can implement 5S, you will understand that why I said these are two very important things. So when we talk about keeping detailed records, so this collected data is used to track and correct inefficiencies, right? If you do not know that, if you do not collect any kind of data, how would you know that what kind of inefficiencies are there or what you want to improve? So data collection is very, very important, and it is one of also the benefits of 5S that you have lot of data which can be used to make further changes and improvements. And then management uses collected data to make appropriate changes. And when you collect data, always focus on routine work area duties plus support your data collection with before and after photographs, right? So this way you will have a very visual thing in front of you. You would know that how and what you need to do to bring in further changes. And then when we talk about visual communication, so visual communication is the backbone of 5S. You cannot implement 5S without a proper visual communication. So in 5S, it is used to bring organization to the system and help guide workers through various steps, right? So in 5S, you will see that in all the 5 steps, we would be discussing that how you can put signs, labels on everything, or you would be marking the floors, etc. and etc. So visual communication is, as I told you, is a major step in 5S. So then using effective signage. When we use effective signs, it gives workers clear, accurate identification of location, procedures, hazards, equipments and tools. So when we talk about data collection and visual communication, so these are the basic keys to successful 5S implementation. If you think that your workplace is in a complete chaos, or your workers are not able to find the things they require daily, or they are just wasting their time to find the tools or the things they need to work every day, or your important workplace is just occupied by scrap, or if your workspace is not at all organized or it's not labeled or departmentalized, right? So this means that you're not able to find the things, whether they are physical or digital, whenever you require them, and you're wasting a lot of time. So I would recommend that just go ahead and learn the implementation of 5S, and this would really change the way things appear in your workplace, right? So when we talk about implementation part, so the first thing is that the approach we use is the PDCA approach. So how this is a continuous improvement technique, and this 5S is used using this PDCA approach. So we can say that we can divide the 5S implementation in 4 parts, that is plan, do, check and act. Right, so in the planning part, the program committee is organized and a program for each of the 5S steps is just decided. And then in the do part, you announce the program publicly that we are going to implement this program now. And then you train and educate your workers, you start implementing this technique, that you start cleaning techniques and all that. So the program starts on a particular day. And then on the check part, you have to evaluate the results. That is, whatever the results have been, you have the data recorded with yourself, you would check. And then in the act part, a self-examination is done and corrective and preventive measures are taken. And this forms a cycle, and I call this cycle of efficiency. So why this is a cycle? It has to be a continuous improvement technique. It's not that you just implement 5S once and you think that you are sorted. No, you have to keep it doing it, right? So your team should be meeting weekly, monthly, and they should just review the program. So it has to be done continuously. And with time, you would find that your workstations would change completely for better. You would find that everything is being done smoothly, and there are lots and lots of things which are being, everything is clean, it's organized, and it's done properly. And then you will have to have time to think about other changes which you can make, other improvements which you can bring in. Right, so the first thing is that to implement 5S, you need to build a team. So for that, you need to create internal committee of 5S team leaders, right? And then this group manages and supports the system from the first stage, that is sorting, to the last stage, that is sustaining. And then the team size depends upon the facility size. Obviously, it's a directly proportional relationship. That is, if there's a bigger facility, the team would be big, and if it's a small office, then even one person can handle the complete thing. So consider individuals with strong leadership skills. Once team is organized, they have to draft the formal 5S plan. That is what has to be done, because each office have their different requirements. Each workstation has their different requirements. So they have to plan their 5S according to their own requirements. And then you have to train and educate the employees, because they are the people who are going to carry on with this technique, and define the role of employees in the 5S plan.